I'm Sarah.
And I'm David. Let's talk about Survivor 48, episode 6.
Let's do it. It was a pretty good episode.
It was.
We're going to merge together.
Yes, we are.
But first, if you're new to this channel, please click subscribe and give this video a thumbs up.
And you can support us on Patreon at patreon.com/nerdtainment. How do we look, everybody? How's the color? Because we were adjusting the warmth before we went live so that we wanted to make sure Sarah didn't look like a ghost.
I thought I looked like a ghost.
Yeah.
I didn't like this lighting.
And then I also, has anybody ever noticed my red ears?
Oh my God, don't point it out. They're going to notice it.
My hair's long now, so you can't tell, but I'm going to get a haircut and then I'm going to have shorter hair. And I was telling Sarah that I sometimes my ears get hot.
David's
get really red.
Ears have always turned red. I have never noticed.
I think I need you guys to weigh in next time when I have shorter hair.
Yeah, he's going to cut his hair, he says.
Yep, chopping it off.
But that's say goodbye to the live.
Say goodbye. Let's say hello to episode 6 of Survivor.
Oh, yes. We got merge.
The merge. But first, we're going to come back from Bianca's elimination. Say's pissed. She's been lied to again by Cedric.
She was like, you know what? I will talk to anyone but you. Sir, you have lied.
She is done with him. Little does she know, she's the one person he's saving above anyone else.
I know, right?
He is so trying to protect her.
He's like, no, I am going to explain this because I literally saved you. You are here because
he's like, say, I know. But like, I got this information. And so I found Chrissy minutes before Tribal and I told her to vote for Bianca. And, you know, I'm trying to save you. He's trying to like talk some sense into her, but of course she's just like a little too emotional. I don't blame her. I'd be upset too. It's like the third time that she's been left out of like one of Cedric's plans. And I think what's hardest about it is that Say really wants to be in the driver's seat and controlling things and in the know.
Yeah.
And it's probably a tough pill to swallow that Cedric's more in the know than she is.
Yeah. I mean, Cedric has to explain and he does a great job of like, she told me 5 minutes before and like I could only kind of get it to Chrissy, which we still weren't clear
because he's probably like, Bianca was watching me like a hawk.
Bianca was like, I didn't see it, so
and
he couldn't get it to Mitch or Say. They must have done something on the back row because they were both on the back row. But you know, basically Mitch is like, sorry, you were the vote. And you know, I mean, Say takes that part pretty well.
She does. She's like, and I owe an apology to Chrissy.
I voted for Chrissy.
So we all look stupid.
It's so interesting because Cedric's like, Bianca was pitting us against each other, like playing it like this big thing. And I was like,
she kind of was until she wasn't. Like, remember, she was going to go for a tie vote, play both sides to get a tie vote. She
only was playing both sides because she didn't have a vote. So she needed that to work out. She wasn't pitting people against each other. She told Cedric, like, Cedric totally did not understand what Bianca was
he's doing what he has to do.
Sure. But
he has to frame it a certain way. So he gets to be like, look, she was trying to do something and I got some information from her and I flipped it and I used it against her. She's nefarious.
Okay.
So he's just trying to smooth it over. But all of that is probably behind them because day 12, drop your buffs.
There's a vote. Everyone's excited about a vote.
Yeah.
It says drop your buffs. They're all going to go to one of the beaches, whichever one that was.
It's one of the more established 5-star resort beaches.
The 5-star resort beach.
Yeah.
I love the section with Star. Star's like sitting. She's like, bring on the boats.
Oh, yeah.
Come to Mama.
She's like meditating. Yeah.
She was like, I will be your friend today. I was like, what? Give me more of this.
I know.
She's so entertaining.
No, I think we haven't gotten a ton from Star, partially because she hasn't been to Tribal Council. She's one of the 4 people who hasn't been to Tribal yet. But based on what we got this episode, I'm like, Star might be a bigger character in 100%. This next phase of the game. And she is going to be super entertaining to watch. She had a couple of good moments this episode. But we've got like Chrissy excited to go see the OG Siva. The Siva 6 is intact. Bless you. And she's like, we got to cut Say. Like, I know Cedric is trying to save Say, but we got to convince him to cut her.
She's like, why? Why are you going down with that ship?
I know. And then David's, you know, he's like, oh man, I'm not going to be the only man with my ladies anymore. So
you're going to be okay, David.
Yeah, everybody's going to be fine. But they all arrive on one beach. I love Say's like, I can't wait to see Mary. Yeah, because, you know, we were mortal enemies, as you know. But at the end there, we decided we're best friends. Cut to Mary.
Oh, she's like, I am having PTSD.
I don't want to see Faye.
About sex.
She's like, I don't even want to be wearing this green sweater. I don't want to have anything to do with Vola, but I can't be naked on the beach.
Poor Say.
That
edit was brutal.
I know.
But it's cute. Say's like, bring me my girl.
Yeah.
And then Mary's like, I don't want to see someone wearing green.
You are
burn my green clothes.
Such a thorn in my side.
Yeah. She's like, no, thank you.
Yeah. Then they find this message. Star signs the bulletin board or whatever. And of course, there's an advantage in the forest, and everybody goes off running. And
Charity decides to follow Say.
Yeah.
Charity's like, wherever Say goes, I shall go.
Why do you think that is?
Is
it just because Charity and Say have never been on a tribe together?
No.
But Say has been a loud personality generally in these challenges. So I think everybody's kind of clocked who she is. But for whatever reason, she's like, I'm following you. I don't want you to find an advantage on your own. And Charity finds it, but does not move with the quickness to get it.
No. If you are trying to keep Say away from an advantage, you have got to be a bit more
sprint.
Stealthy. Yeah. Just Charity was trying to find the best route or something. No, that's not going to cut it.
No.
Say is going to throw her body.
Leaps over foliage and logs and snags that advantage.
Of course.
Yeah. And she's like, look, it's an advantage. That's not always a good thing, but I'm here to play and I'm going to do what I can with this advantage.
Yeah, honestly, Say does have to do anything she can.
She does.
Because she's already, like you said, people she's never even been on a tribe with
are targeting her.
Know who Say is.
Yeah.
So that's not always great.
Yeah. Then we just sort of get general bonding, right? People are meeting new people. David and Joe.
No. Mm-mm.
Drink an unhealthy amount of milk.
What? A gallon a day?
That can't be real.
Thank you, Shaheen. Thank you for being the voice of reason.
He was like, this is disgusting.
It's gross.
That is so much. I don't even drink a gallon of water a day.
I know, right? And we're supposed to.
And they're drinking a gallon of milk.
Yeah. I got a lot of comments and questions about milk from last week in the videos.
Oh, sure.
Because I said, disgusting. What are we doing with milk?
Oh, yeah.
And people are like, wait, why? Wait, why? What? I'm like, I could do a TED talk on this. I can't just respond to a comment.
You need to do a whole separate video.
I'm like, do you know what the milk is? We are the only mammal who doesn't wean from our mother and move the F on. What do you mean? Why?
It's I can't.
It's so bizarre.
Drink human milk anymore, so I will drink.
So I'm going to go drink a different mammal's milk. It makes no logical sense. And then you get the whole dairy industry on top of that. Absolutely not. That industry is one of our worst.
But then all these people are like, ew, milk disgusting. But the pecks are impressive.
Look, I guess if that's what's
so if we're using
pecs.
these two people as a case study, I guess milk gives you juicy pecs. I guess that's a thing.
There are other ways to get protein, my friend.
And chocolate milk.
It is like a dessert.
I literally thought, because we know David's proclivity for chocolate milk.
Yeah.
When he brings it up, I thought Joe was gonna be like, bro, no, come on.
No, Joe's like, well, no, mostly
chocolate. Of course, chocolate milk.
They say milk, but they mean chocolate milk. Which is that's just being a child. You're just being a child.
It's like milk with Hershey's syrup.
Okay.
What?
You can get chocolate other ways. I guess that's just an easier way.
I couldn't believe it.
To pour it in milk. Oh no, only kids drink chocolate milk.
Wild.
It's weird.
Wild.
So weird.
But then we get Joe and Eva reconnecting. And we know they're tight. Everybody knows they're tight. They're sort of comparing allegiances. Eva's like, I've got David now. They are sort of putting together the physical stars of the game. They want to build that alliance, right? They're like Shaheen, Yumi, David, Kyle. We need to get this group together because we're all going to be targets.
Yeah, the meat shields.
So let's come together and make sure that doesn't happen. I like that. It is a response to trends in Survivor, and they're trying to find a way. They're like, who's the real threat? Puzzlers and strategists.
David's like, We see a strategy, we get them out of here.
Out.
I was like, sir.
Strategy is a part of the game.
But I mean, this is a strategy to do that. But I'm like, if y'all are just going to do brute force, it ain't going to work. I think y'all are going to come up with some strategy because you just have to.
Yeah.
But this was pretty hilarious that
Very
they were
funny.
like, if you're smart, you're out of here.
You're thinking? No, goodbye.
They're like, only us strong people.
Take your non-milk drinking butt and get out. There's only milk drinkers.
Milk drinkers.
In the final 3
right.
this season.
That's right.
Okay. And Eva does reveal to Joe that she has Star's idol. So there's, of course, this exchange of information. I was also interested to see Kyle being like, oh, I've got this, I've got this, I've got that. But Camilla's my number one.
Oh, that's Kyle's in the Meat Shield group.
Yeah.
He's bonded with Shaheen and Joe.
Yeah.
And he's like, cool.
Mm-hmm.
But Camilla's my gal.
I will never. It's like Joe and Eva and Camilla and Kyle are like maybe the strongest 2 duos in the game.
Right. But no one knows about Kyle and Camilla.
Which is the best part.
Incredible. Like they are still being so stealthy.
Yep.
Okay.
Now Mitch, he wants the OG Siva 6 to be a thing. He's like, we've got our 6. What can we do with this? I still have the block of O. Like, how can we make this a thing? And so I think he's talking with Charity.
Yeah. And Camilla.
Yeah. And Charity's like, well, Say is like a target for sure. And Eva. We just saw what happened with Eva, and she has an idol and she's a huge threat. So we're starting to get these like initial kind of threat. It's always this like free for all when we get to the merge.
It's too many people together.
Like, what are the names that are going to kind of emerge as a potential first vote out?
And like you said, Say, like they're hearing Say and they're like, yeah, absolutely. That's probably the easy vote. Yeah. Obviously, Eva is someone on our radar, but and she has an idol.
Right.
That's info's out. But yeah, Charity and Mitch, but they're a duo.
Yeah.
So they're like, let's keep our numbers.
Someone tells Star, like, you need to ask for your idol back.
Charity sits down with Star and is like,
girlfriend.
She was like, I psychically heard the podcast after the episode. And they said, do not give your idol away.
So she's like, you need to fix that and go get it back.
But Star, like me and probably other people, were like, no, you can't do that.
Also, like, somehow that information travels and Eva gets word of it.
Star. It traveled via Star.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, Star's like,
somehow
I don't know you,
Star
Charity.
Walked over there.
I know Eva.
She was like, no, Eva and I have bonded.
We are actually tight now, even though we didn't talk for 11 days.
Yeah.
But I'm going to tell her. And so then, of course, Eva's like, I want Charity gone. So it's Charity, Eva, and Say are the first 3 names that are coming up before we go to this challenge.
We are going to go day 13 into immunity.
Yes. And the merge meal.
Yes.
But it's not a group immunity this time. It's individual immunity.
Which I believe this is what we did last season, right? So, yeah, I think so. Okay. I think we divided them into 2.
Yes. And then there was a secondary.
And then
challenge.
There was a second. Right. Exactly. So team that loses is like just whatever.
Goodbye. You're just covered in mud and sorry.
Jeff loves the mud.
I love it. It's such a good visual.
It is.
Yeah.
Though I can't find him on
I know.
But it's just so,
yeah.
I'd hate it.
So Say gets automatically past the first challenge. She gets the merge meal and she's going to go automatically to compete in the individual immunity thing. Of course, she celebrates a little too much because she can't contain herself. And she's kind of apologetic and she's like, sorry. And she's like, I really need to eat. And everyone's like, great. Yeah. You are so annoying. But we're split into these 2 teams where they have to crawl through the mud under the thing, grab the key with this like grappling hook thing, get the whole tribe up a ramp, which is always a to-do.
Oh my God.
And then solve this puzzle.
Yeah, I forgot to write down who was on what team. But
I'll help you.
Okay, great.
Charity, Eva, Shaheen, Cedric, Mitch, and Joe versus Mary, Chrissy, Camilla, Kyle, David, Star.
And I did feel like that was the stacked team.
Really? I kind of thought Shaheen
and Joe.
No, you're right. I don't know. I feel like it's kind of even.
Yeah, I guess it is even-ish.
Yeah.
But I don't know. When I first looked at them, I was like, purple.
Yeah. I guess with like Star, David, Kyle, that's like that's a good 3 there. But you've got, and Camilla's a good puzzler. It's a good team.
Yeah, I don't know.
You're right.
Anyway.
So it's sort of neck and neck.
It is. It's
as
close.
They crawl under the mud.
Yeah.
The best part of the mud thing was watching Mary go on her back and just
how did she do that? She came out with her face completely clean.
She's like, if there's one thing I'm not going to do, it's get mud all over my face.
Brilliant.
And she's like tiny, so she can just kind of do that. And she scoots right through. Very good strategy.
Oh, so smart.
Then they have to go over and under in that obstacle with the wood shavings.
Yeah.
Because it's like getting tarred and feathered.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
You got to get all nasty.
Yeah.
And we're basically going to stay together until we've got to get up this wall. And we know it's coming.
We know.
Someone's going to struggle.
And guess what? We've already seen Cedric struggle this season with this. Oh, Episode 1, Cedric. We saw him trying to get up the ramp, and it was a huge problem. And
now, Purple's strategy, though.
So good.
Is brilliant. Like, they just go, dude and dude. Who were the dudes?
Kyle and David.
David, I think, went first. And I'm like, stunt dude.
David, he jumped, he leapt from the ground.
He did it like.
And landed on the ropes.
Yeah, he was like, cameras, y'all ready?
Yeah.
Right here. Watch this.
He's like, I practiced this one in stunt school.
Yeah, he did. He actually did that beautifully. And then Kyle gets up there, and then they just pull up.
They pull people up.
Like Spider-Man.
They're like, Chrissy.
Yeah.
Come up. Thank you.
Yeah.
And everybody just gets up quite easily.
It was just so efficient and well done. Yeah. And then Orange is not doing horribly until they get Cedric, who it appeared that his body just stopped working.
It was like he had no strength to pull himself up. But he was holding on to the ropes, but he couldn't.
Was he? I get pulling yourself up is really hard. I would not be able to do it. But once they kind of had him, he just seemed like he was this.
You're right. He did kind of turn into a rag doll.
And I was like, you can use your body now, sir. No.
Mitch was like, use me as a human table. Like, what? How can I help you?
Yeah. I felt like they were like, move. Like, you can do this now.
Do something.
You're upright.
Do something, Cedric. He's really, really having a hard time. So that lets Purple get everybody up, and they have a lead on the puzzle. Will they squander it? No, it turns out. But the way they edited this made it seem
close.
Yeah. Like Orange was making some kind of comeback. I don't know how true that is.
We didn't get like
the wide shot
next to each other to really see, but it sounds like Orange is really catching up and that this might be a close finish.
Yeah.
But Purple's going to take it.
Purple won.
Yeah.
So sorry to the Orange team. But so now we've got Mary, Chrissy, Camilla, Kyle, David, Star, and Say competing for individual immunity. And they've got this like ball. You know what? Fair point.
The secret.
Fair point. We have not heard about Cedric's milk intake.
We're going to find out. Yeah.
And it may be true that he doesn't drink milk.
That might be the key.
So they've got this ball on the end of this like long pole,
right?
Where they keep having to add sections to the pole.
Yeah. So platform ball, and we're gonna put. Boy, are we gonna add a lot of length to this pole.
Yeah. And it seemed initially, I was like, you see this thing sort of teetering the pole, and these balls are not falling off. They're kind of like catching on the edge, and I'm like, are they not perfectly round balls? But then I noticed it's kind of got a lip to it. The platform.
Yeah, there's a lip on the platform.
So it can kind of catch the ball.
So that really is where you want to keep it. Like you want to keep it kind of at a lean so that it's not rolling around. But the higher it goes, like the lean just gets so wobbly. But so we've got all of our people plus, Say's gonna join, all not muddy.
Yeah.
Everyone's going to do this first transition just fine. Chrissy is going to drop out that second transition.
Yeah. Then we add another section and Camilla drops.
Okay.
Then they're highlighting the different strategies of how people are keeping their ball balanced. Mary's got her neck all the way.
Oh my God. Seriously.
Like folded backwards.
Like no throat.
And everyone's like, Mary, I don't think you should.
How are you doing that?
No, maybe she drinks milk. And then David, meanwhile, is dead ahead. Not even looking up. So Mary's like eye on the ball strategy. David's like, just stay perfectly still and forward and slowly add these sections to it. And they're both doing quite well. But then Mary, as the second she takes her eye off the ball, it drops. Did you notice that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it drops. Say is going to then drop. We've got David, Star, and Kyle. Star is killing it.
Yeah.
Star like does not move practically at all. But David's going to drop.
David's out next. And so it's Kyle versus Star.
Yeah. I was excited for both of them.
Me too. I would have been happy with either of them winning immunity.
Absolutely. I was like, this is such a fun group here.
Yeah.
I don't really care who wins. But unfortunately, Star is going to lose her ball. So Kyle is going to win here.
Average Kyle on my draft team.
He's so average.
Winning immunity. Yes.
Yeah.
Do you like the immunity necklace this season?
Love.
Yeah. So pretty.
So, like, this is what it should look like, Survivor.
Look at that weird skull and bat one.
What, the bat? Oh my God. I have been appalled by the.
Like, it's kind of something you don't want to wear.
Yeah.
For the past couple seasons.
Right.
This is like, I've got bling going into tribal council.
Yeah. I thought it was
blue
beautiful.
Beads.
I think the new merge buff is beautiful. It's got a blue and purple color going to it. Kind of matches the necky.
Yeah.
I like it all.
Yeah.
Looks good.
Everyone's happy for Kyle. Then we go off to the feast first because we've got these two sections of the Murgatory tribe now.
Yeah.
And of course they start to talk names. Like they're just enjoying the food. And then they're like, so should we talk?
And Star's like, let me get it started.
Charity.
Yeah. How about Charity? Anyone?
She doesn't. She said, Charity tried to turn me against Eva. How dare you?
And Chrissy was like, well, what about Eva?
What about Eva? And Kyle also brings up Mitch's advantage. So obviously Kyle and Mitch are not that tight. Because Kyle's letting that spill. That he's got to block a vote. And
Eva's idol comes out. Like,
right.
They're just
Chrissy's like, Chrissy's not throwing out Eva. She's just saying, I've heard Eva.
Eva has an idol.
I think that's the name. And then Star is like, oh, I heard Eva has an idol. I'm like, bro, you gave it to her.
Yeah, no, I think Star was responding to people being like, Eva's got an idol. And she's like, I've heard it. I heard that
you're the reason.
But I was like, oh, interesting that Star is not like, I gave it to her.
Right. No. Play dumb. I love that from Star. And then, Say's just sort of piling on. I want the idol out. I want Eva out.
Yeah. So Say's like, well, if Eva has an idol, then like that's where you go first, which is fair. That is true. But I say don't touch my winner pick.
Yeah. Emotional moment with Cedric back in camp.
Oh yeah, Cedric definitely feels like
I let people down.
Yeah.
He's kind of getting emotional and confessional, but it's a little like, when are they going to start talking about anything with this group? Like they're just kind of there. It feels like they don't want to talk a lot of strategy, but you know who does Charity? And first we see her with Mitch and she's like,
that's her guy.
Eva, like we have to get Eva out, but I don't know if the time is right.
Right. That is a bold move. Is that our first boot? And she's basically like, Say is an easy
If not Eva, then Say. It's a lot of Charity, which is not a good sign for someone who's like not really been in the edit yet. And now you're coming out guns blazing.
We haven't, that's not her fault. She's probably been guns blazing this whole time.
100%. And we do know that she wasn't the most popular member of the Siva tribe. In any strategy talk we got from the original Siva Orange early on, people were like, there's something about Charity. Like,
the Charity was a bit much. Like, what is it? What is it? Because we didn't see it.
I thought she seemed...
They gave us no receipts to this.
Insanely lovely in the like pre-season interviews. Like she seemed like a very charming, charismatic person.
Yeah.
But I don't know, maybe the way she communicates just turns people off. There was something about her that people were not responding to. And so then we get Joe, Shaheen, and Eva, and they're saying Charity.
Right. Because they're like, she's playing loud.
She's playing loud and she's a Siva, which I kind of brought up at the end of our last stream. I was like, I have a feeling, I felt like Say was like a very logical vote out at this point in the game. But I was like, but there are also 6 Sivas. So I have to imagine like Vula Green and Loggy Purple are going to come together and be like, we should probably just get one of them out so that they're not running the game to the final 6.
Yeah. That's a fair strategy. Like, even though it doesn't look like it's really Siva strong because you have Kyle.
Yeah.
But why not just chip away at the numbers just to be safe?
Exactly.
And if she's the loudest of the group who's clearly playing,
easy
if you
target.
are saying names, it is an easy target.
Because she's not so much, it seems, from what we're seeing in the edit, she doesn't seem focused on building alliances. She seems focused on identifying a target.
Yeah. Right.
And that's kind of like,
maybe that
we saw like David joining alliances, but that they're not considering playing hard. It's the people who are like willing to throw out names willy-nilly that they're kind of like, oh, we need to be careful with her.
Yeah.
So the feast crew returns and says like, oh my God, I ate pineapple and I ate this.
Sweets.
We had some milk
and they had a lot of milk.
I am so full.
Yeah.
And I ate all of these things.
Yeah. She just went through the list for everyone, which is never appreciated.
And then poor Cedric.
Yeah, this is hard.
Star.
But Star, again,
Sarah,
loving.
I was getting a little teary. I know you can't relate.
No, I can't.
Because you cried one time and it was when Eva had her episode.
I did cry.
You did. That was the only time.
That was one. That was it.
But Star is like, Cedric, we're not doing this.
No.
You are a good man. Your kids are watching. They are proud. Like, I was like, yes, I want to see more motivational speeches from Star.
Yeah, she seems really into motivating and like pumping people up.
Yeah.
She seems more supportive of other people than maybe even herself.
Yeah.
Although she was pumping herself up on the beach like before everyone arrived.
Yeah.
But like, I want that energy for you as well, Star.
Yes. But I just love this. Like, no.
Yeah.
We're not doing that.
Yeah.
Because he's not in the conversation.
You don't need.
Yeah, he's not in the conversation of someone to vote out. Nobody's saying, Cedric, you ruined this for our team. And so, we're throwing your name out. That's not what's happening. And so she's just like, cut it out.
Yeah.
Snap out of it. Come back. Let's play Survivor. I loved it.
Yeah. And he seemed to appreciate it.
Yeah.
Sometimes you're like, okay, I just need to cry it out. I would be like, I just need to like.
Yeah. I want to feel my feelings and then I can move on.
But he's like, okay, I appreciate the support.
Yeah.
And so that was lovely.
It was nice. Shockingly.
Yeah.
The Vula Green folks come together.
I think they just have to.
They were like, I guess let's check in.
They were like, we gotta pretend.
Mary's like, I don't want to be here.
No, she deep down was like, why?
But look, it's Charity. Charity's the easy vote.
Yeah.
And Say is saying in this moment, like, I just want to lay low.
And I love this for Say. This is the right step. Yes. Because she's like, yeah, no, I think we should go for Eva. Like, I've got thoughts, but I need to lay low.
Yeah.
I do not need to run this 13-person group. And that is accurate. And I'm so proud of her for doing this.
Yes.
Because she doesn't try to steamroll this.
She doesn't.
She has her conversation.
Maybe she's like learned because she's tried to steamroll a few things where she was then left out of the plan and the vote. And so maybe she's like, I'm going to put on my listening ears.
Yes.
And I like that.
She was like, I'm well fed.
Yeah.
I'm going to lay in this hammock.
Yeah, right.
And you guys tell me who I could vote for. And I'm going to be down for that. And Teresa, thank you so much.
Thank you, Teresa. Appreciate you.
Yeah, merge.
Let's see. We see Kyle and Eva talking because they're part of this new Meat Shield Alliance. And Kyle says that Say said Eva's name. So it was interesting that Chrissy didn't come up because Chrissy's the one who said Eva's name first.
Oh.
But Kyle doesn't bring that up.
Okay.
He's focused on Say said your name.
Okay.
Which I thought was interesting.
Yep.
So I don't know, maybe Kyle's semi-tight with Chrissy.
Well, they're OG tribe together, even though I don't know that they're super close, but closer than he would be with Say.
But what it's really going to come down to is like, who do we want to risk having on the jury? Joe is...
They don't want any woman on the jury, apparently.
Well, yeah. They're like, Charity and Say are bad for jury. It's this sort of like woman scorned.
What is this kind of narrative about Charity? Like, where is this coming from?
I got to be honest. I get it with Say.
Yes.
I wouldn't want Say on the jury.
No.
I don't know what it is about Charity that people feel so threatened by.
I don't get it.
And even Mary is like, Say's a venomous snake. Charity is a turtle. Not scared of a turtle.
Not scared of a turtle. Exactly. Like, is Charity playing Survivor? Yes, but so are you, and you and you.
Right, exactly.
Say, no, she's dangerous, and she's gonna come for you.
I mean, they do get a pretty significant group to rally around Say, but I'm surprised it was not more unanimous.
But I do think that I do think that this is a great vote. Like, I don't understand the charity of it all, but you can kind of keep saying as a target for just a little bit.
100%.
And Charity is gaming. Yeah. And she's on a tribe with a lot of numbers. So like, chisel away at Siva. And like, I like this vote overall.
I do too. And we do get from Shaheen where he's like, yeah, look, there's like a few names, but I really am conscious of the Siva 6. And so regardless of how tight they are, let's just get rid of one of them and level the playing field a little bit. It seems like that's where some people where some people's heads are going into this tribal council, right? Which I noted it was 12 minutes left when we got to this tribal, and I was like, is there going to be some funny business, or is this just typical sort of like first big tribe council where we have to hear from a lot of people?
Yeah, I didn't think it was long enough for like funny business.
Yeah.
But we definitely don't know the plan going into this tribal, right? No. We've got enough names that we're like, who knows which way they went.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So this house party reference.
Okay, it's a house party. It's Club Condo.
What is Club Condo?
We went to a dog park at one point.
Jeff was like, I don't like that one. I'm going to latch onto the house party. And apparently at the house parties that Jeff goes to, people are dancing the two-step,
the bossa,
the robot, the bossa nova, the salsa, breakdancing.
Oh.
Lots of things happening at Jeff Probst's house parties.
Oh, no, I've been at that party. Oh, we doing the robot. Oh, we are. Mm-hmm. I got no problem with Club Condo.
Are you doing the robot next to a breakdancer?
Yes.
Okay.
Douglas is breakdancing. I'm doing the robot.
I'll do the two-step.
That's what I'm bringing to the function, y'all. You got problems? I absolutely will do the two-step too.
And Jeff like does his little bit. He circles back around at one point. Yeah, he's like, let's go back to this house party.
I got more.
I got more dances that I want to throw out.
More.
Yeah.
They were laughing. I was like, what is this tribal?
Everyone is kind of having fun.
Yeah. I don't think that's real, but it got in the edit.
Yeah. They claim that they're all bonded at this point, and they've, shared their deepest, darkest secrets with each other. And even though they barely know each other, they've known each other for 13 days. Like, there's just this special bond that they all share. It's kind of a weird mix because I feel like often at these first big tribe councils, it's paranoia ruling the day. And everyone's like, I just don't know who to trust. And like, some of us haven't been to tribal council at all, and we don't know where our alliances are.
Had not been.
Yeah, but like, it just seems like a general vibe here is like, we're just having a good time. Okay. And like, I guess somebody has to go.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, it did have a little bit of that lighter edge than we're used to.
Yeah.
But I'm still like, where's the vote? Because
I'm not sure that like Jeff is calling Eva, he's calling on Charity, he's calling on Say. Like, each of these people who have come up get a moment to express nerves. Eva's saying like, I just don't know who to trust. Yeah. Charity's like, my left eye's been twitching all day. Like, I'm worried about people not talking to me.
Star is like,
I actually didn't wait for people to come to me.
She's like,
I went to other people.
I guess because Say is like, this is the most dysfunctional family I've ever been in. And Star's like, my family, we don't like each other. She's like, Aunt TT, no one likes her. The middle child never gets love. Like, Star like went down the list of her family.
Star's like, oh, sorry, y'all got happy family?
Yeah. She's like, so I'm good with this.
Yeah.
This is fun.
This feels normal to me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That was hilarious.
And then I love when David's like, Jeff, it's tough because it's just been a really honest, straightforward, loyal game so far. And I don't know what's going to happen. And Jeff's like, says the guy who's never been to tribal.
Yeah, sir, this whole loyal, honest game that these meat shields think they're playing.
Oh, it's just all hunky-dory for you?
I got news for you. because David's about to do some of the best acting I've ever seen at a tribal. So I don't know what this honest game is he thinks he's playing.
I know.
Because he about to screw over his Siva people and act like it didn't happen.
Well,
but I also have to say, when Star walked into the voting booth.
Oh my God, drop the pen. Across the room. So many good moments in the voting booth. Who was it? Was like, why is everything shaped like garlic? I've never heard the tribal pen compared to a clove of garlic.
They're like, what?
And everyone's like, everything okay in there?
Oh, but then let's get some votes because the producers, they messed with us with these votes.
They did.
They got me.
Good. This was good.
Yeah. We're going to get Say. First off, no, idols or anything.
No shot in the dark, no nothing.
Right. No shot in the dark. Say, Charity, Cedric. I'm like, where did Cedric come from?
Yeah.
Say, Charity. And then they're going to give us 3 Says.
And I was like, wow, they really rallied the troops. And
like,
it's going to be Say all the way to the end.
Yeah.
But no. Then Charity.
And then a Charity.
And then a Charity. And it's tied.
Yeah.
Or we get another Charity and then it's tied. And Say, the grin that crosses her face, and she's like, producers, you did it.
Yep. Yeah.
You did it.
Say knew exactly what was happening. Oh, yeah. Oh, got a Charity too? Yep. There we go. Not me.
Charity to the end. It's like 7-5 Say and 1 Cedric. So even if that Cedric person who ended up
it was Say.
Yeah. So clearly it was going to be Charity.
Just wanted for fun to write down Cedric's
I guess so. Or was she left out?
No, I think she was like, look, funny business.
Uh-huh.
Let's throw a vote
somewhere. I'm going to send a message.
And she was like, he's written my name down too many times. I'm just going to do it for fun.
Well, she's still going to get more votes than him, so she should be worried. But yeah, ultimately they decided, they had to get a Siva out. So the 7 who voted for her, interestingly, 3 Sivas voted for Charity, Chrissy, Kyle, and Camilla. And then we've got Star, Cedric, or no.
That can't be right.
Star, Cedric, Joe, and Mary voted for Charity. Because you're right. Yeah, David didn't turn on the Sivas. He voted for Say.
Oh, okay. Wait, back that up.
Back it up.
Who voted for Charity?
Chrissy, Kyle, Camilla from the Sivas. Star, Joe from the original Loggy Purple. Cedric, Mary from the original Vula Green. That's the collective that came together to vote Charity out.
And David voted for Say?
He did. David, Mitch, Eva, Shaheen. So that's...
So they split.
The Meat Shield Alliance was not all together.
Great. So
and Charity voted for Say.
Okay. So the Meat Shield split then. It wasn't like David was thinking that Charity was going to be safe. He knew what was going on. He knew that Charity was going to probably get most of the votes, but they put enough on Say as sort of a safety,
backup in case Charity did,
which is very smart.
Yeah.
And then Say just probably on her own did that Cedric vote. But when they say it's Charity, Mitch is truly like appalled because this is his girl.
Upset.
He had no idea that this was happening.
No.
And David right here is like, and he like touches Mitch's shoulder. I was like, David, you and your honest game.
He's an actor, not just a stunt man. He's an actor.
He is an actor.
Okay.
And I don't want to hear about your honest game anymore. You playing just like everybody else. 100%. Okay?
100%. Mm-hmm. Yes. So very interesting vote. Poor Charity. She's the last vote out pre-jury.
Mm-hmm.
So now everybody gets their buffs.
We think.
They're merged. True. We don't know. But now they're merged. They've all got their buffs.
So they got their merge buffs. Yeah. So they've all merged. She didn't make technically the merge. Yeah. I enjoyed talking to Charity today.
Okay.
I don't think I got anything like
juicy
other than she clearly doesn't understand the hate either.
Yeah. I really don't. I mean, explain it.
Yeah.
I don't get it. I don't think we saw it.
You don't see the footage because it ain't there. And I'm like, that's fair. We would have seen it.
True.
They would show us you being.
All we saw was people without explanation saying we don't like her.
Yeah.
I guess that's life sometimes.
It is. I mean, when we do the like preseason looking at the tribes by sign, you can see who's going to get along and who doesn't. And there's 3 Scorpios on that tribe.
Okay.
And she's a Libra. And Libras and Scorpios don't usually get along unless there's something else connecting. And so I think she just didn't fit in with her tribe.
Yeah.
You know, she and Mitch were really the closest.
Yeah.
And I think the rest just didn't vibe with her.
Yeah.
But that doesn't make her a bad person. She certainly wasn't going to be a bad jury member. I think she would have been a great jury member.
I think she would have been better on the jury than Say, but maybe Say's going to win this season.
No, Say's still here playing, so
she might win this season.
Yep.
So next time we've got they show us a David versus Kyle kind of showdown. They're doing the grip strength challenge next time. You know how there's like the rope that's like on a turny thing and you have to hold on to the sides of it.
Okay.
There's a moment with David and Kyle. So it seems like maybe it's down to the 2 of them for an individual immunity thing potentially. Kyle and Camilla are still undercover.
Yeah.
And Camilla seems like she's got a nefarious plan to frame Shaheen for something. So you know how these previews are. They're always trying to throw it with something.
That's true. Like, you can't trust the preview, but I was like, if Camilla's already breaking up Kyle's group, that's hilarious.
Yes.
But I'm also fascinated to see, can this Meat Shield group like
Me too. I honestly think this is exciting because for the longest time, it's just been like, let the beefy people make it to merge and then boom, 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 we get them out right away.
Right.
And I think it's smart for them to come together and be like, how can we stop this? Like, we are all seeing each other as like the people who are going to get voted out as physical threats. How can we, get ahead of that?
We've had this many who could band together previously. We usually just have 1 or 2, right?
Yeah.
But they've got a good group
selection
that could pair together, and they're trying.
Yeah.
But if they're not going to be strategic, they're going to get outmaneuvered.
What would be so smart is that if they did like a cookout situation where they all also like Kyle has Camilla.
Yeah.
I mean, Eva and Joe are, but if everybody can kind of find somebody else to trick into being their number 1.
I wonder if that would work. I wonder.
Yeah.
But protect Star at all costs.
I love her.
I
love her.
My new fave.
Yeah.
Also, though, don't take out Eva yet. But I get it. She's a threat. She's strong.
Yeah.
But are they going to be like amongst them? Are they going to win all of these immunity challenges?
Mm-hmm.
That will be interesting to see.
Yes.
No matter what, the season is so good.
It is.
This episode was great.
Yeah.
I'm loving it.
This challenge was incredible.
Yeah.
They always come up with like a really physically taxing one for this first sort of merge situation, but this one with the mud and the wood shavings and the pulling that bag and the ramp, it's just good stuff.
And thank you, Autumn. Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you, Autumn.
Eva, it's everything garlic.
Yes, so funny.
Yay! All right, so David, you lost a team member.
I had to do it.
You guys, Chantel still has say on her.
She still has say.
Yeah.
I had to fall in front of that train of Chantel barreling towards selecting the first 6 vote outs. I couldn't let that happen.
You had to take one for the team.
So I'm sorry, Chantel, but you do not shoot the moon and automatically win this draft by selecting the first 6 votes.
So close.
Yeah.
So close.
So close.
But I still have my.
Are you in the lead now?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
I think you're still.
I assume because I got some points for Kyle winning immunity this time, so I was happy to see that. But
yeah, you have 102. You have a decent
lead.
I have 89.
I do have more than double Chantel's points.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So
Chantel.
What if Chantel picked the first 5 boots in the winner?
Look, I wouldn't put it past her.
Yeah.
That would be wild. That would be incredible.
I do think they've been too heavily in the edit in the beginning of the game to really be the winner. Usually when you're like...
I don't know, Kinsey.
That's true. Fair. Yeah. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
We'll see.
She can make it to the end. That'd be amazing.
Yeah.
You guys in the chat, thank you so much for being here. We appreciate it.
Yes. And if you're joining us later, leave us a comment and let us know what you think about Charity going home. Like I said earlier, please, if you have some sort of explanation of the Charity hate, something you saw in the edit, point it out. I'd love to understand that a little bit more if there was actually footage to support that.
Right.
And I guess let us know who you think is next. It's hard to predict like what alliances are really going to be meaningful this early on in Emerge.
Yeah, but, is it too early?
Yeah.
We'll see. We'll see who actually can make it. But yeah, thank you guys.
Thank you.
We'll see you next week.
All right. Bye.
Bye.